Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are completely tearing down the absolute biggest excuse that's probably holding you back from building wealth. And that's the myth that you need a massive paycheck to build serious, life-changing money. We often kind of just assume that wealth is reserved for, business tycoons or people pulling in huge corporate salaries. But the real truth hidden in the data and in everyday real-world habits, is completely different. By the end of this explainer, you're going to see exactly how your discipline and not your gross income is the ultimate wealth-building tool. So let's just get right to it. Can you actually get rich on a 10,000 rupee monthly salary? Now I know your immediate reaction is probably, no way. My rent is way too high, my expenses are crazy, there is literally nothing left over. When we talk about a 10,000 rupee or 15,000 rupees starting salary, most people just assume that building wealth is something they'll worry about in their next life, right? You might think, I'll start saving when my income goes up. But listen, that is the exact trap keeping the middle class broke. It's really not about how much you make. It is entirely about the formula you apply to what you make. Okay, let's dive into this. Let's look at the normal formula, the one that honestly 99% of people out there are using. It's income minus expenses equals surplus. You get paid, you pay your rent, you buy your groceries, you pay off your EMIs, and whatever tiny amount is left at the end, if anything, you consider your surplus or your savings. But the wealth formula, it flips this entirely. It's income minus investment equals expenses. Before a single bill is paid, before you buy groceries or pay rent, your investment is deducted first. What is left over? That is what you're actually allowed to spend. So how do we actually pull this off? Well, the source material gives us this absolutely brilliant, foolproof strategy, the read-only bank account. Here's how you do it. You open a completely separate bank account from your main salary account. But, and here is the trick, you absolutely refuse the debit card. You refuse the checkbook. You basically treat this new account like it's radioactive. You want to make it physically impossible to just casually withdraw cash from it. So when your salary hits your main account on the 30th of the month, your predetermined investment amount automatically transfers over to this read-only account. From there, it gets auto-debited right into a systematic investment plan, an SIP, or a recurring deposit. You literally can't touch it, even if you want to. Part 1. A tale of two earners. Amit versus Raj. To really wrap our heads around the immense power of this mindset, let's look at two guys, Amit and Raj. Now, both start at the exact same starting line, working a modest job paying 10,000 rupees a month in a big city. Amit represents your typical consumer who constantly wants to upgrade his lifestyle, while Raj, he represents the real rich. So in year one, Amit rents a room for 4,000 rupees. His survival expenses eat up everything else. His surplus at the end of the month is an absolute zero. Raj, on the other hand, makes a slight sacrifice. He finds a smaller room for 3,000 rupees, keeps his survival expenses just a little bit lower. And because of this tiny bit of discipline, Raj has a surplus of 1,000 rupees every single month, which he immediately funnels into a recurring deposit. But it's not just about the saving habits. Listen, we all have the same 9 to 6 job, but what are you doing from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.? Because actually, that is exactly where wealth is built. While Amit comes home, scrolls on his phone, hangs out with friends to unwind, Raj uses his 6 to 9 window to learn a completely new skill. He notices there's a huge demand for YouTube thumbnail design. So he spends his evenings learning this skill and starts picking up freelance work. He's actively turning his free time into a secondary income stream. All right, let's fast forward 5 years and see how this builds. Both guys have progressed to earning $35,000 a month. But wow, look at the difference in their choices. Amit's rent went up. He bought a flashy bike on an EMI purely because he wanted to look successful to his family and friends. When he got married and had a baby, he didn't have any savings, so he had to put the 1.5 lakh hospital bill right on a credit card, adding another massive EMI to his monthly burden. His surplus? Still zero. Now look at Raj. He also got married, also had a child, but he paid that hospital bill in full, in cash, straight from his early recurring deposits. He bought a bike too, but paid for it in cash. And that side hustle? Oh, it is booming. Get this. Because of Raj's discipline and that secondary income stream, his monthly surplus isn't just a few thousand rupees anymore. By year 5, between his day job and his side business, Raj is generating an astonishing surplus of around 40,000 rupees every single month. That means he is saving and investing more than what his entire original salary used to be. Meanwhile, Amit is just totally stressed out, juggling credit card debts and bike EMIs, basically just waiting for his next paycheck just to survive. Part 2. The Wealth Gap 20 years later. Okay, so 2 decades of daily financial habits culminate right here. Both men are now in their 40s, pulling in a handsome 1.5 lakhs a month from their day jobs. But Amit has totally fallen victim to societal influence. Terrified that society might view him as poor, he went and bought a luxury flat in a complex with a swimming pool, slapping himself with a $50,000 monthly EMI. He upgraded to a big car for another $30,000 a month, add in expensive schools, branded clothes, and Amit is burning through every single rupee he makes. Raj's side business, on the other hand, now pulls in an extra 5 lakhs a month. He drives a modest car, paid in cash, and he has absolutely zero debt. So the really crucial point here is their net worth after 20 years. Amit has zero real assets. If he loses his job tomorrow, there is no emergency fund. He will instantly default on his massive flat and car loans. Raj, who's just been living quietly without the need to show off to anybody, has an emergency fund that could literally last him years. He has accumulated over 1 crore rupee in mutual funds. He owns a 2 crore property built entirely with cash with no loans attached whatsoever. 2 men, same exact starting salary, 2 completely different universes of wealth. Part 3. The rules of the real rich. Mindset over income. So how exactly did Raj pull this off? Well, he followed a rule based on this brilliant cultural metaphor: love your grandson. Think about it. In many families, a grandfather loves his grandson even more than his own son, right? Well, in the world of finance, your principal investment, the actual money you originally save, is the son. The interest that money earns, that is the grandson. And just like a doting grandfather, you must love the interest. You must protect it. But more importantly than anything else, you absolutely must protect the principal at all costs. What this actually means in practice is that the truly wealthy never, and I mean never, use their direct hard-earned income to buy luxuries. If Amit wants a new luxury car, he takes his salary and uses it to pay a car EMI. That is killing the son. But if Raj wants luxury, he takes his salary, invests it, and then he waits. When that investment generates a large enough monthly interest yield, when the grandson is finally born, Raj uses that interest to pay for his luxuries. The principal investment remains completely untouched, continuing to generate wealth for him forever. Now, the second rule Raj used is transitioning from selling time to buying time. Most of us sell our time, right? We work an hour, we get paid for an hour. But you only have 24 hours in a day. You have a hard ceiling on your income. Raj broke this ceiling during his 6 to 9 hustle. Once his thumbnail business grew, he didn't start working 18-hour days. No, he bought time. He hired 2 people to design thumbnails for him. He effectively multiplied his hours. The wealthy don't do everything themselves just to save a few pennies. They hire others to free themselves up to make exponentially more. Part 4. Start early. The power of compounding. Now, what's really interesting about this is waiting for the perfect time or waiting for a higher salary to start investing, it's a fatal mistake. Let's look at the math that completely destroys that logic. Person A starts at age 20 and invests a tiny 1,000 rupees a month for 40 years. Person B waits until age 40, thinks they are super smart, and invests 10 times that amount, 10,000 rupees a month for 20 years. Person B invested vastly more of their own money. Yet at age 60, person A, who started early with just pocket change, has a portfolio worth over 3 crores. Person B, who invested heavily but started way too late, only has 1.3 crores. Compound interest doesn't care about your ego, and it certainly doesn't care about your high salary. It only cares about time. So we've seen the math, we've explored the mindset, and we've looked at the 20-year results. Honestly, it all comes down to the decisions you make with your very next paycheck, no matter how small it is right now. Are you going to drown in EMIs just to impress society, or will you embrace the discipline to actually buy your freedom? The formula is right in front of you. So the question is, which life are you choosing today?